Have you ever wondered what it really takes to create the artificial Christmas trees that brighten up millions of homes every holiday season? We're talking about those stunning green beauties, often decorated with sparkling lights and shimmering ornaments, standing proudly in living rooms across America. They look so real that you might think they came straight from a snowy forest, but the truth is far more fascinating. Behind every artificial Christmas tree lies an incredible process that combines science, engineering, and craftsmanship. Here's a mind-blowing fact to kick things off. Every single artificial Christmas tree contains thousands of tiny PVC fibers that are twisted and shaped to mimic natural pine needles. Yes, thousands. In fact, for some large trees, that number can exceed 10,000 fibers. So, how do manufacturers transform sheets of plain plastic into something that feels like a slice of holiday magic? Buckle up because we're about to take you inside the factories where holiday dreams are engineered. Every year, over 150 million artificial Christmas trees are produced and sold worldwide. They've become an essential part of the holiday season in the United States and beyond. Families love them because they're reusable, low maintenance, and easy to decorate. But few people stop to think about what it takes to make one of these trees. The truth is, the process is far from simple. It involves cutting, shaping, and assembling thousands of components to create a product that not only looks like a real tree but can also last for many years. The question is, are these trees completely handmade by skilled artisans, or is there some advanced automation at work behind the scenes? The answer might surprise you. Before we dive into the modern process, let's take a quick trip back in time to see where it all began. Believe it or not, artificial Christmas trees have a history that goes back more than a century. Long before factories started churning out millions of trees each year, people were looking for alternatives to cutting down real evergreens. Back in 19th century Germany, deforestation was becoming a serious concern, so creative minds came up with a unique solution: faux trees made from goose feathers. Yes, you heard that right, real goose feathers dyed green and attached to wooden frames. These feather trees were reusable and kept their shape fairly well, but they were far from perfect. They were expensive to make, not very durable, and certainly didn't look as realistic as the trees we see today. By the early 20th century, things began to change. American manufacturers started experimenting with metal and synthetic fibers. These materials made artificial trees sturdier and easier to produce. They were also cheaper, which meant more families could afford them. Still, they didn't quite capture the natural beauty of a real tree. The big breakthrough came in the mid-20th century with the introduction of PVC, polyvinyl chloride. This material changed everything. PVC was durable, easy to mold, and could hold color beautifully. It was also cost-effective, which made artificial trees more accessible than ever before. Thanks to PVC, artificial trees began to closely resemble real ones, and their popularity skyrocketed. Fast forward to today, and artificial Christmas trees have evolved into works of art. You can find them in every size, shape, and color imaginable, from small tabletop trees for cozy apartments to towering 12-foot masterpieces that dominate shopping malls and hotel lobbies. Some even come pre-lit with LED lights or feature realistic snow frosting on the branches. But no matter how fancy or simple they look, they all start with the same basic materials and go through a surprisingly intricate manufacturing process. So, let's take a closer look at how it's done. It all begins with the foundation, the tree trunk and base. The trunk is made from strong steel tubing to ensure stability and durability. These steel tubes are cut to specific lengths and then bent into shape to form the main structure of the tree. The sections are welded together to create a sturdy frame. After welding, the metal frame gets a special treatment, a polyester powder coating that is heat-cured to create a smooth, corrosion-resistant finish. This coating not only protects the steel from rust but also gives it an attractive, glossy appearance. This ensures that the tree remains strong and beautiful year after year, even after multiple holiday seasons of assembly and storage. Once the trunk and base are ready, the next step is to create the pine needles. Large rolls of green PVC sheets are fed into high-speed cutting machines that slice them into thin ribbon-like strips. These strips are then shredded into thousands of tiny needle-like pieces. If you've ever wondered why artificial trees look so realistic, it's because of these finely cut PVC fibers that mimic the texture and appearance of natural pine needles. Some of these needles even get special treatments, like metallic finishes for that shimmering holiday glow or a dusting of white paint to replicate snow. The result? A variety of branch styles, from deep green traditional looks to snowy winter wonderland themes. But the magic doesn't stop there. Those PVC needles need to be attached to something to create the branches. This is where twisting machines come into play. Workers take bundles of PVC needles and insert them along with thin metal wires into a specialized machine. This machine twists the wire tightly around the PVC fibers, securing them in place and forming a sturdy, lifelike branch. The density of the needles is carefully controlled to make the branches look as natural as possible. For example, the tips may be fuller while the inner sections are sparser, just like real pine branches. On average, each machine can produce between 100 to 150 branches per hour. That might sound fast, but remember, a single tree can require hundreds of branches, sometimes over 1,000 for larger models. Once the branches are completed, they're sorted by size and type. Some will be for the top section of the tree, which is narrower, while others will form the fuller bottom layers. After sorting, it's time for assembly. The branches are attached to the steel frame in layers, starting from the bottom and working upward. Many modern trees use a hinge design where the branches are permanently attached to the trunk with metal hinges. This makes setup easier for customers because the branches simply fold down into place. In older designs, branches were inserted individually into color-coded slots, a process that could take hours for consumers to complete. Thankfully, those days are mostly gone and convenience is now a top priority. After the branches are in place, the tree goes through a rigorous quality control process. Inspectors check for issues like uneven needle distribution, loose branches, or paint imperfections. Trees that don't meet the standards are reworked or discarded. For premium trees, additional steps are taken to enhance realism. For example, some branches are molded from PE polyethylene material, which is injected into molds to create needles with a more three-dimensional shape. These molded branches are then combined with traditional PVC tips to create a mixed branch look that's almost indistinguishable from real pine. The final steps include adding accessories like pre-installed lights for pre-lit models, snow effects for frosted versions, and decorative touches like pine cones or berries. Once everything is complete, the tree is carefully compressed and packed into a box, ready to be shipped to retail stores or directly to customers' homes. And there you have it. The incredible journey of an artificial Christmas tree, from raw PVC sheets and steel tubes to the centerpiece of your holiday celebrations. Artificial trees have come a long way since the days of goose feathers and wooden frames. Today they're a perfect blend of durability, beauty, and convenience, allowing families to enjoy the magic of Christmas without cutting down a single tree. There's something truly magical about Christmas. The sparkling lights, the smell of fresh pine, the festive music playing in the background, it all comes together to create that warm, nostalgic feeling we look forward to every year. But have you ever stopped for a moment and wondered how that stunning artificial Christmas tree in your living room came to life? It's easy to take them for granted as we decorate them with ornaments and wrap gifts underneath, but behind every artificial Christmas tree is a fascinating manufacturing process that blends creativity, precision engineering, and a touch of artistry. Today we're pulling back the curtain to show you how these holiday icons are made, the hidden environmental debate behind them, and why your choice between a real and artificial tree matters more than you think. The journey begins with something surprisingly simple: a metal frame. This frame serves as the backbone of the tree, the sturdy structure that will eventually hold thousands of synthetic pine needles, ornaments, and lights. Steel rods are bent and welded with incredible accuracy to form a central pole and multiple branch sockets, ensuring the tree remains balanced and durable for years of use. After all, no one wants a Christmas tree that wobbles when you hang that heavy ornament from Grandma. Every detail is carefully calculated, from the angle of each socket to the weight distribution, so the tree looks symmetrical and natural from every angle. Once the skeleton is complete, it's time to bring the branches to life. This is where the artistry truly begins. Thin wire branches are meticulously cut and twisted together to form individual clusters. But plain green branches won't create that magical winter wonderland effect on their own. To achieve that snowy, frosted look we all love, some branches are sprayed with a latex-based white paint. This step transforms ordinary green branches into enchanting snow-covered limbs, evoking the serene beauty of a frost-kissed forest in December. The sight of these branches alone is enough to spark that cozy holiday feeling. After the branches are prepared, they're carefully attached to the main frame. This step is far from simple. It requires precision to make sure the branches are evenly spaced for a full, lush appearance. Workers use specialized twisting machines to lock each cluster into place, guaranteeing they stay secure even after years of decorating and storing. Once the branches are installed, the entire frame is wrapped with finely cut plastic strips designed to mimic the texture and density of real pine needles. These strips not only enhance the tree's realism but also conceal the internal metal structure, creating the illusion of a dense, natural evergreen tree straight from the forest. The next stage is what truly transforms these artificial trees into festive centerpieces: the decoration process. Twinkling string lights are carefully woven around the branches, shiny ornaments are added for a splash of color, and other vibrant accessories give the tree its stunning personality. Every tree is assembled with attention to detail, making sure it looks picture-perfect by the time it reaches your home. Some premium models even come pre-lit and pre-decorated, saving families hours of setup time and making the holiday season a little less stressful. Finally, the completed tree is mounted onto a sturdy metal base to ensure stability. Before leaving the factory, each tree undergoes a thorough quality check. Workers inspect everything, from the symmetry of the branches to the durability of the lights, to make sure it meets the highest standards. After passing inspection, the trees are carefully packaged, sealed, and shipped out, ready to spread holiday cheer to homes across America. But here's the part most people don't think about: the environmental impact of these artificial trees. While they're celebrated for their convenience and reusability, their production process is far from eco-friendly. Most artificial Christmas trees are made using PVC, a type of plastic that isn't biodegradable. According to research from the Carbon Trust, manufacturing a single artificial tree about 6 feet tall can generate between 40 and 60 kilograms of carbon emissions. That's roughly 10 times the carbon footprint of cutting down and disposing of a real Christmas tree each year. And that's before factoring in the emissions from shipping these trees across the world from factories in Asia to stores in the US. So what does this mean for environmentally conscious shoppers? The truth is, the greenest option depends on how long you plan to use your artificial tree. Studies show that to offset its carbon footprint, an artificial tree needs to be reused for at least 5 to 10 years. If you buy a new artificial tree every couple of years, the environmental cost quickly outweighs the benefits. On the other hand, if you stick with the same tree for a decade or longer, you're reducing waste and making your investment more sustainable. Manufacturers are also stepping up to address these concerns. Some companies are now using recycled plastics instead of virgin PVC, which significantly reduces resource consumption and emissions. Others are experimenting with biodegradable or renewable materials, paving the way for a future where artificial trees are just as eco-friendly as they are beautiful. These innovations show that sustainability and tradition can coexist, making it possible for families to enjoy the magic of Christmas without compromising the planet. So what about real trees? They may seem like the greener option, but they come with their own environmental considerations. Real trees require land, water, and transportation, and if they end up in landfills after the holidays, they can release methane, a greenhouse gas more potent than carbon dioxide. The best way to minimize impact is to recycle your real tree through a mulching program or replant it if possible. And let's not forget the emotional factor. For many people, the scent of fresh pine and the tradition of picking out a real tree is an irreplaceable part of the holiday experience. Ultimately, the choice between artificial and real comes down to personal values and lifestyle. Do you prefer the convenience and long-term cost savings of an artificial tree, knowing it will last for many Christmases to come? Or do you cherish the authenticity and fragrance of a real tree, even if it means a yearly trip to the tree lot? Both options have pros and cons, and neither choice makes your holiday spirit any less magical. What's clear is that whether real or artificial, the Christmas tree remains one of the most beloved symbols of the season, a centerpiece for family gatherings, a backdrop for holiday photos, and a reminder of the joy and warmth that define this time of year. So, as you hang the ornaments and switch on the lights, take a moment to appreciate the craftsmanship and history behind your tree. It's more than just decoration, it's part of a tradition that has been bringing people together for centuries. Now, we'd love to hear from you. Which type of Christmas tree do you prefer, real or artificial? Share your thoughts in the comments below. And if you enjoyed this behind-the-scenes look at the making of artificial Christmas trees, don't forget to hit that subscribe button for more fascinating stories from around the world. From all of us here, we wish you a Merry Christmas filled with joy, laughter, and unforgettable memories.